Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Prime Minister, thank you for the speech. As you went through the address, I was getting worried because you didn't talk until you spoke about human resource, because I really think that is the most critical part. I represent a small company called NFT Consult, and we do human resource management in the region. But we always seem to forget the human resource when we're talking about increasing the economy. We always talk about the investors and the companies coming in, but invariably to actually get the people that affect, which is the community, there is a human resource component which you seem to be missing. And then when you spoke about the university, where it's good for the long-term planning, but we still do need to do a lot of the things for the vocational training. Because as these companies come in, they need an immediate resource of people to employ, and we have a big employment level. So there's a lot of vocational training, which I think is more key as a priority for the short time to make sure that we get people into employment in the next year or so, which is what we're looking for as we plan for the future. Then the other point I had is my company is based in Uganda. We've grown into Rwanda, Burundi, and now Tanzania. I see myself as an East African. In fact, my badge does not say Uganda, it says East Africa. I have ability to embrace the community. But when I actually come to Tanzania, for me now, for my organization to be able to bid and work for any semi-government organizations, I seem to need to have a local partner, which seems to be very critical. Yet we're in this community. And what we do is basically create employment. We basically enable organizations to create more employment. However, I cannot seem to be able to bid for any government entity or any private partnership which has a government ownership, because I do not have a local Tanzanian as a shareholder. Is there a way that is going to change, or do we still need to actually now look at that? We can see the benefit of the local shareholder, but in the context of the community, which is really for the benefit of each individual nation, but in all the communities, I think something in terms of the policy review, I know you mentioned about that, needs to be looked at from that point of view. Thank you.
Well, of course, I did make a reference to human resource development. Maybe I should have gone a little bit more and explained it more, but I just pose it more as a challenge, because it's an area that seriously we have to put in a lot of efforts so that we can reach a level where at least we are self-sufficient within the shortest possible time. But I agree with you fully that the question of vocational training centers is very basic. And this is why here for us in Tanzania, as a matter of policy, every district and every region has got or must have a vocational training school. Okay? We've done quite well in terms of regional area. We are still going on out to the districts. But because skills, this is where we can create skills, you know, which are very, very essential for some of these investors that are coming, for some of these investors who are coming in. And all that you need is a skilled man to be able to carry out the ABCs, which are basic for any exercise. So, but it's an area definitely that we have to work fast so that we can manage to get the required numbers in the shortest possible time. And this is why I cautioned myself. I said, within the East Africa component, I don't want Tanzania to be at the receiving end. I also want to produce people who can go to Uganda, go to Kenya, go to Rwanda, you know, in the same context. Yeah. Now, for the second one, well, it's good that you said you are within the East Africa community. We're building the East Africa community. We still have a lot of work also to be carried out within that framework. Okay? One of which is what you have made reference to. So I think as we go along, making dialogues between ourselves, that problem is probably going to get a solution to it. Of course, there have been a lot of areas that we still need with a bit of some reservations here and there, but I think in the long run, they will be sorted out, definitely. Because I want to work in Kenya, I want to do business in Kenya, just as I would like to do in Uganda, just as you would like to do something here, and the vice versa. So what sort of policies are required now in order to enable the East Africa community to be effective tool for development for this region, definitely some of those issues must be tackled.
Good morning. My name is Jacques de la Briole. I'm the French ambassador to Tanzania. Mr. Prime Minister, good to see you again. I have been, as a friendly observer, most interested and delighted. Good morning. My name is Jacques de la Briole. I'm the French ambassador to Tanzania. Mr. Prime Minister, good to see you again. Power supply. I have been, as a friendly observer and most interested and regional integration. What you had to tell us, certainly trust the importance of Tanzania will be investment, a very good destination for investment if transport, the momentum that regional integration is kept. And however, there is a regional problem. Tanzania has not been discussed. A very good destination for investment if is a sector where the momentum that you described is kept. 6 months. However, there is a regional problem that has not been discussed. Piracy is developing into a regional, which I believe is a sector where the situation has not improved over the turnover of piracy was about $100 million. Not at all. Which is, this is piracy. The budget is developing into a regional constraint. The national, we calculate that revenue of a place like the turnover of piracy was about $100 million, which is twice the budget. This is creating a lot of problems ranging from the national revenue of a place like Puntland, economic, where most of the pirates come financial, ranging from this is creating a lot of problems taking care of from the money laundering, for example, to police, justice, over the economic and financial period. Many people have arresting the pirates to judging. It would be taking care of money laundering, a national coordinator at a sufficient level in the administration to be able to handle. Many people have the military that maybe the civilian would be a good idea to appoint a national coordinator. Do you share sufficient level? And do you believe it would be a good idea to have to be able to handle for piracy both the military, the civilian aspects of the phenomenon? My question is, do you share this analysis, and do you believe it would be a good idea to have a national coordinator for piracy?
I think he answered it himself.
Yes. You see, the question of piracy is really when you ask by an ambassador, it's so difficult to get an answer area. But
I think he answered
even
it
at international level, now, these people want to do business. The question of piracy is now it is not terrible to not only going by South Africa is too expensive area, and by the time goods reach here, we cannot even at international level. So really economically, these people want to do business with us. Really, now it's not all that easy now. But social also, and going by South Africa is too expensive, and by the time goods reach here, we cannot afford. Our people cannot afford. So really, economically, it is just coming really big thing as a unique phenomenon. Social also really disturbing us. So politically, the problem is also a big Somalia issue. It within East Africa, as a international level, phenomenon. We must put our efforts together. So resolve the Somalia issue first. Okay. Then within East Africa, have done away with the international level, big degree. We must put our efforts together. So far, resolve not much effort has gone into the Somali question first in terms of trying to sort out the political situation, then, and we shall have done away with piracy. Leave those people to live now in peace. But so far, Your Excellency, not much effort has gone into the Somali question. Can also be effective and also help sort out the political situation, and therefore now for the Tanzania to live now in peace. Her neighbors, maybe you know Kenya very well. This is where the Tanzania very well can also be effective, can also help. If I have a vessel that can go into the high seas, for the Tanzania and get that one, her neighbors, we don't have. Okay? You know Kenya very well. We've done Tanzania very well that we think we can do, trying to request left. If I have a vessel that can go into the high seas, you know, you probably say, when did you get that? See, to eat as a problem, so that we can deal with the piracy within this area. For that we think we can do, trying to request left for the growth of our economy throughout the international community. You know, areas that need to be friends to see, to eat as a problem. So we call that out. Deal with the piracy within this area on this one. The safety and we like this people done also or resolved within the growth of our economy. At least in terms of having not been easy, something that will at least move around our seas here in order to make sure that vessels that come in, we are keen on this, safe, to have this thing done or resolved within the shortest possible. Look to Russia, look to other something that will at least see that if there are these opportunities around our seas here in order to make sure that vessels that come in and I know Europe is going through a lot of transformation now. We look to Russia. You have frigates that are no longer probably used to see to eat that today. These, of course, of the technologies will be ready to. But to me, that will probably be what best we can do. Anyone. And I know Europe is going through a lot. If I get friends who are formations to support us in that, you have frigates that are no longer probably used these vessels to you today. I would say because of the technology. But to me, that will probably be some basis of giving to us as a loan. Now, if I get friends who are, as long as we get something support that us in that angle, create some ready to decommission some of these vessels, that would be I would say thing. Let's sit down, talk. Maybe now that even if it means on some basis of that gives me a lot giving to us as a loan, I wouldn't care whether we have any vessels. So long as we get something that create some peace within the seas around us, that would be a wonderful thing. So maybe that's it up. That gives me a lot of come to you and see whether you have any vessels there that will so but otherwise the coordination we already have something in place. Maybe what you are looking for is to, you will probably say maybe it's not effective. What we have done, we have decided to appoint the Ministry of Finance to be the focal point. There will be assisted, of course, by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, of Home Affairs, and the other state organs. But the core will be Ministry of Finance. I come in, but from a different angle, because we have our National Security Council here. So whatever comes from this smaller group, filter to the council where the president is the chairman. So the coordinating team, maybe if you say maybe not working well, that's something else. I'm prepared to sit with you and gather more ideas on what you think can be done in order to deal with the piracy. I thank you so much for raising this issue. Thank you.
You've heard it here. The Prime Minister is willing to solve the Somalia as long as you give him a couple of ships. The Somali pirates will not attack African ships. It's an African solution. You're absolutely right. It'll be economic development that will make the transition there, not just option. One more question.